Hey guys, so today we're gonna film a Q&A. We had a bunch of questions coming in, so let's just get to it. First question is, where do people fail on their journey to become a professional poker player? I would say that people fail mostly because they don't have systems in place and they have too many bad habits. They drink too much, they gamble too much, they degen too much in general. They don't have a fitness routine, they don't have a consistent sleep schedule, they don't have studying habits. I think those two things mostly. Just have good systems and good habits, and it's kind of hard to fail, I think. What are your 2024 poker goals? So my goal for this year is quality over quantity. I'll be spending quite a lot of this year in jurisdictions where I can't really play much poker. So my goal is to spend this time studying a lot and getting better at the game, and then just travel for the big stuff and rather play big important tournaments. Rest of the year, study, get better, have good habits, work out, stuff like that. Next question is, how do you like to prep for a big poker tournament? So I really like to lock down before big poker tournaments, get in a space where I can really get in a good habit of studying, working out, doing all the right things. Like before this Triton stop now, I was in Thailand for 1 month and Bali for 1 month. And all I did in these two spaces was basically go to the gym, go to the beach, relax, study, and get in a good physical shape and good mental state to perform well. I think that's pretty much the most important thing. You just want to be not stressed out. You don't want to have like a long to-do list that's bugging you out. You don't want to have a lot of stuff hanging over you. You just want a clear mind to be in good shape for it. That leads into the next question, which is, how important is physical well-being when it comes to performing well in poker? I think physical well-being is super important, especially for longer stints, no matter if it's cash games or tournaments. If you're going to be playing for 10 to 12 hours for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like during WSOP, for example, if you're grinding like a full series, you'll be playing like 10, 12 hours for 6 weeks straight, potentially. And at that point, being in good physical shape is going to matter a lot. It's going to improve your endurance, stamina, and making good decisions on day 8 of the main event when you're super tired, or should be super tired, but you're not because you're in great physical shape, could be really important. Next question is, what is the first expensive thing you bought with poker winnings? To be honest, I didn't really buy anything expensive. I bought an apartment, my first apartment, which is rather expensive. But in terms of items, I didn't really buy anything. All the items that I wanted to buy before the main event, I already had. Like, I don't have very expensive habits. I don't have like a super expensive wardrobe or expensive watches or anything like that. So there was nothing that I really wanted to buy before the main event that I now could buy, you know. Most of the money just went into this apartment that I bought. I did some renovations on my family house and yeah, invested in stocks and magical internet money and stuff like that. And yeah, that's it. Next question is, what advice would you give aspiring poker players just starting out? So first of all, I would spend some time thinking about what your actual ambition in the game is. Is your ambition to beat your friends in a home game? Is it to make some extra side income while you're studying or working a full-time job? Or is it to become a professional player and reach high stakes and make a lot of money or win titles or whatever? If it's the last part, I think selecting your network is super important. Surround yourself with people who have the same aspirations, the same goals, and who are willing to put in the work. If all the people around you want to party all the time and binge watch TV shows and all of that, then maybe those are not the people that you need around you if your goals are to reach high stakes. Next question is, what would you be doing if you weren't a poker player? I'd probably be doing something in the brewing industry. I have a master's degree in brewing science. I was super interested in beer for a lot of years. My passion has died down a little bit. I don't drink that much alcohol at the moment, so I'm not super passionate about it as I was, but I do still love like a cold IPA on a warm summer day, or a stout in front of the campfire on a winter day in Norway. I do still have some passion for beer, and I think if I was doing something outside of poker, it would have to be in the world of beer. Looking back, is there anything you wish you had known or done differently when you were starting out? Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of the people that started in back when I started into the 2004, 2006, around there, they kind of regret that they didn't put in the work back then because poker was so much easier. I had pretty high win rates in terms of hourly rates when I was like 18 years old, but I just didn't have the maturity to realize the opportunity that I had. I partied a lot, I played a lot of video games, I was wasting a lot of time that I could be spending taking poker more seriously. So yeah, I guess if anything, I regret not taking it more seriously back then. Why is poker a beautiful game, and should people pursue it as a career? So poker is a beautiful game because it's always developing. If you were the world's best player 1 year ago and you completely disappeared from the scene for 1 year, you didn't watch poker, you didn't play poker, you didn't study poker, you would for sure not be the best player in the world anymore. Strategies are constantly evolving and you can never fully master the game. There's always something else to learn. There's always like new strategies developing. And yeah, I think that's what makes it so interesting and what makes poker such a beautiful game, that at no point in time are you going to say, okay, I've learned everything now, I'm the best, time to move on. And should people pursue it as a career? I think, yeah, if you have a love and a passion for the game, I think you should, I think you could. But if you don't have that, if you're in it purely for money reasons, or you think it's going to make you rich and famous, I think you're drawing really slim to make it happen. But if you have a passion for it, I still think it's a viable option for sure. So what would you say to people thinking the poker dream, and could anyone step in your shoes one day? So I don't think the poker dream is dead now. I do think you need, as I said before, to have a really big passion for the game. But if you have the passion and love for the game and you apply yourself, there's still young guns coming up, you know? There's still people that came into poker a few years ago that are now playing high stakes. So the poker dream is definitely not dead. It is a lot tougher than what it used to be. So it just requires a bit more of a mature approach and a bit more of a work mentality if you want to make it work.
Poker is dead, everyone is solid. I just like, how can you make money in this game? It's impossible, right? Everyone is so good.
In what other areas have you improved by improving in poker? So for this one, I think I've learned to think in probabilities instead of absolutes. I think a lot of people outside of poker or outside of gambling, investing, these type of jobs have a tendency to think a bit more in absolutes, like black and white, yes or no. While poker players, at least myself, I find myself thinking in probabilities a lot, trying to like weigh the risk reward. What are the chances of this succeeding? What is the outcome if I succeed versus what are the chances of me failing, and what is the result of me failing, and try to approach decisions outside of poker in this way as well. How important do you think it is to nurture a closely knitted poker community when studying the game? For me, I think it's mandatory, and I think it's a big part of my success in poker that I've had such a good network. There are some lone wolves in poker that get to the top basically by themselves, just by applying themselves and like studying a lot. But in the end, if you are 3-4 people in a study group together, you can bounce ideas off each other, and you can divide workload as well in terms of what you're studying. So I think it's just like a more effective way to do it. And if you have the option to do it, I definitely recommend being part of a good community in poker. Why have you chosen No Limit Hold'em over other variants other than its popularity? So I guess we're all creatures of habit. Like, I started out playing Fixed Limit Hold'em, I dabbled in some PLO back in the days, I played a little bit of mixed game, but in the end, No Limit Hold'em is the game that I've been playing the most. And for this reason, I think it's the game that I understand the most, which makes it more interesting for me. I understand it at a deep level, which makes it more interesting to study, more interesting to play. At this point, I do love mixed games. I think PLO is a lot of fun as well. But I would rather try to be master of one format, No Limit Hold'em, than to be kind of like a jack of all trades and be like reasonably good at all formats. I'd rather just try to be like one of the best in one format instead of, yeah, playing all of them. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and yeah, see you for the next one.